A gute Woche, everyone, and a guten Yud Alef Nissan. And before we begin to go over a little bit from the Farbrengen, it's Yud Alef Nissan and Poischem Vibrocha. We will join together with all the thousands and tens of thousands of Yidden throughout the world to wish the Rebbe Ishnas Hatzloche, La'arichus Yomim Vishonim Toivois. The Rebbe should be gesund, begashmiyas, and the Rebbe should have a lot of satisfaction and nachas from all his chassidim and from all his mekushorim and from all of Klal Yisrael throughout the world. And all the Rebbe's wishes and all the Rebbe's desires should all be fulfilled easily and smoothly without any problems or without any inconveniences. The Rebbe continued also into the new kapitel, which we are beginning to say tomorrow, and that is kapitel Peiches. And kapitel Peiches comes as a continuation to kapitel Peizayin, and there are those that tomorrow they will stop saying kapitel Peizayin and begin kapitel Peiches. And Kapitel Peiches begins with Shir Mizmor Livnei Koirach, Lamenatzeach al Machlois Lanois Maskelahim on Ezrochi. So the Rebbe brought out, first of all, we see that there's mention here about the Bnei Koirach. And the Bnei Koirach, says the Rebbe, we had him in last year's kapitel as well, Kapitel Peizayin. It begins with the Bnei Koirach. But Bnei Koirach, says the Rebbe, is something which relates to Avodas HaTshuva. As we all know what happened to the sons of Korach, the children of Korach, after what happened to Korach and all those that followed him, we find in Chazal that an opening was made specially for the children of Korach, and they rose again after being swallowed by the earth together with their father and everybody else, and that was through the strength of tshuva, through the koyach of tshuva which they did. And here the pasuk begins, Shir Mizmoyer Livnei Koirach. What's the taich Shir and what's the taich Mizmoyer? The Rebbe says Shir is bepeh and Mizmoyer is bekeli. Shir means how one sings orally through his mouth. Mizmoyer is through instruments. And says the Rebbe, really there's a deeper expression from a person when it comes from his mouth. Person really expresses himself orally through his mouth. What's the inyan of using instruments? The inyan of using instruments is this assists him, this helps him to bring out yet stronger what he's trying to bring out. And here we say, side the inyan from Shir, and side the inyan from Mizmor, both of these inyanim are being combined, and it's being combined Lamenatzeach. What is Lamenatzeach? Lamenatzeach is from the expression of nitzochin, of a victory. In other words, it's a perik that deals that all the tefillos will be fulfilled, and we'll have a victory. As the pasuk goes on, Tovei lefanecha tfilosi. The tefillah will come lefanecha, to you, Rabbeinu Shalom. Directly to you. The Rebbe put a lot of emphasis on these words. The Rebbe says we find, for example, we say in davening, Yale, V'yovoi, V'yagia. I think he mentioned that there are 7 expressions which all underline how the tefillah should reach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. First the tefillah has its aliyah, then it comes, and then it reaches, and then it's being seen. Yala v'yavi v'yagia v'yeroa v'yerotza v'yishama. Here the pasuk says, Taveh lefanecha. The tefillah comes directly to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Taveh lefanecha tfilosi. And the Rebbe continues, Hatei oznacha l'rinosi. And the Rebbe will put his ear, in other words, it's the inyan of shmiyah. The Rebbe will listen l'rinosi to my rino, which is also to my tefillah. And Rebbe explained these psukim and the perik in the kapitel, and the Rebbe concluded also talking about the greatness of the number of Yud Alef, of 11. He says, how come we know that 10 is a number of shleimus, as we mentioned earlier, and 10 is a number of kedusha. And when especially in Chassidus, the way it's explained in Chassidus at length, when we're talking about Esser Sfiras, we always relate to 10. The Sfiras are limited in 10 Sfiras. And we say 10 Sfiras, specifically 10. There's an expression of Kabbalah which is often quoted in Chassidus. Eser v'loi teisha, eser v'loi achad osar. 10 and not 9, and 10 and not 11. However, when we're talking about the number 11, we brought it out, Chassidus, it's brought out that there is Eiros and there is Kalim. And all this is within the realm of Esser Sfiras. When we're talking about the number of 11, the number of 11 is something which is higher than Eiros and Kalim. And even when we're using these terminologies of higher than Eiros and Kalim, it's just that we're using terminology that we should understand it, so we say it's higher than Eiros and Kalim, but really it's higher than the words that we are using to describe this. In other words, the Rebbe was bringing out how the number of Yud Alef is a number of special significance. And we understand, obviously, the Shaykhs is that this relates to the day of Yud Alef Nissan. And it was an in-depth inyan in the Haskalah of Chassidus, how the Rebbe brought out, the greatness of Yud Alef. But concluded that this has a shaykhs to everybody, those that will begin saying the kapitel tomorrow, and those that don't say the kapitel. There's an inyan of Avas Yisrael. So because of Avas Yisrael, we know that Kol Yisrael are Reven Zelazeh, all Yidden carry responsibility one for another. So really this inyan affects each and every one of Klal Yisrael, how we are bringing out the inyan of Shir and the inyan of Mizmer, and ultimately how it's Tovei L'fal Nechot Filosi, that it comes and reaches directly to the Rabbeinu Shlomo. A kosher and freilich and Pesach.